Hey guys, welcome back to the channel again. We're fixing to fix up some deer venison breakfast sausage. And to clear up a lot of confusion about the pork fat, how much to put in it, things that nature. You got different opinions about this stuff, but I mix it up to where when you cook it out, there's gonna be pork fat into the skillet. It's gonna smell like breakfast sausage, and it's gonna taste like breakfast sausage 100%. So what you're looking at here, we've got 15 pounds of ground venison. And I know this fat looks like it's a lot more in here, but it's not. I've weighed this according to scale. So you got 10 pounds of the pork fat, 15 pounds of venison, and 2 quarts of crushed ice gonna go in it. This keeps the meat good and cold while you're working on it. All right, this is the seasoning I put in it, and I buy this already pre-mixed. I don't mix this up myself, and this is enough seasoning in this bag to do 50 pounds. So we're doing 25 pounds, so I have half one of these bags and weighed it out, and I have it right here in this fruit jar. Now this right here is a secret of mine that I do, that I actually learned. I don't even know where I learned it from, but a lot of times when making breakfast sausage, people take their seed and they put it in dry into the meat. And they have to let it set overnight to get it seasoned and everything before it actually makes good sausage. Well, you don't have to do that with this. If you want to speed your deer sausage up to where you can eat it immediately, which ain't a big issue with most people, get you about a quart of water and mix this into your water and let it break down into the water. And then we're going to distribute, once we get this meat mixed together into this pan, we're going to distribute this liquid into the meat, mix it up with this crushed ice, and run it back through the grinder again with the small plate. We're going to do it with the big plate first. Okay. Let's get started. First thing I've got to do is get the meat into this big pan and get it mixed up with the fat meat. Now I'm going to hand mix all this to get started. You don't have to have a big mixer or anything to do this. Let me go ahead and just break this loose. I've had this in the freezer and the outsides of it is just nearly frozen. And that's another thing. You want to keep all your meat while you're working with it just as cold as possible. Nearly freezing. And I mean, that's the key thing to mixing up meat, is to keep it good and cold while you're working with it. It'll go through your grinder 10 times better if it's nearly frozen. I'm gonna dump my fat on in here. This is pork fat. This is not pork butts, any of that kind of stuff most people go and buy at the grocery store to mix up their venison breakfast sausage with. This is literally pork fat that I buy at a meat company. It's nearly 100% pork fat with no lean. It's got very little lean in it. And that's another thing I want to make mention of. When you're making fixing your seasoning, whether you buy it already pre-mixed like I do, or you mix your own, make sure that you do it in accordance with your pork fat and your venison. In other words, you want a total of 25 pounds of meat in this pan, and that includes the fat and the venison. And if you don't do that, it'll really mess up things. I'm gonna go ahead and just pre-mix this up just a little bit. It's a lot of sausage, and I mean, it's 25 pounds of deer venison breakfast sausage. So I'm gonna just mix this up just a little bit. And this is before I put the seasoning and the ice even in it. And I'm doing this just to get it equalized out a little bit. And then we're gonna put the seasoning and the ice in it. I'm gonna wait till last to put the ice in it. All right, with our seasoning, you just want to take it and just drizzle it across the top, kind of like I'm doing here. It's gonna be some water. I'm probably gonna just shake it up and make sure you get it all out. And what this breaks it down and makes it get into your meat a lot faster than putting it in dry. I'm just lightly taking my hands, I'm working across the top. I'm gonna distribute it out the best I can equally. And once you get that distributed, and then just start folding. Just start folding. And get it mixed in. Kind of like so. You want to mix this really good. You want this seasoning all in this meat. And with the liquid, it really don't take as much as it would trying to put it in dry. You can see no more than I've already mixed this, that I've pretty much got this mixed in. Even with my hands. See how nice that is. You can see the seasoning in there and all that kind of stuff. Alright. I'm going to go ahead and mix the crushed ice in at this time. That's a couple of quarts for 25 pounds of meat. Keeps it nice and cold while you're working with it. And run it through your grinder. I think what I'm going to do, I've actually done put both of these meats through the machine. So I think what I'm going to go ahead and do is take that plate out of there and go ahead and put my small plate in it and run it through there because there's no need in running it back through here again. So let me get this cut on and get this swapped out right quick. I'll turn that out. It won't take just a minute. I'm gonna get this all on out here. That's pork fat where I just ground that through here. Okay. Put my small plate on it. By the way, this is a Cabela's grinder. I think it's a little over a horsepower, maybe a horse and a half. I'm not really for sure. But it does a good job. Of grinding. We're just about ready to start back. I'm gonna go ahead and load my top. This sausage is mixed. It's gonna be really good to eat. I'm talking about the minute it comes out of this grinder. You ain't gotta let it set overnight. Nothing. You can eat it right now. Due to the fact that this seasoning has been mixed with the liquid. Ain't nothing wrong with mixing it the other way if you want to do it that way and put it in dry. But I prefer to do it this way. It just seems to do a faster and just as good a job, if not better. Let me get another tub. And we're going to grind it out into this. All right. Here we go. This is going to be a little bit loud, but not too bad. You watch what this looks like here coming out of here. Venison breakfast sausage. And once I get it all the way, all this ground up, I'm going to take my hands and I'll shuffle through it again, just like I did to start with. And that, breaks it all up and makes it symmetrical. There wouldn't be anything wrong with making Patty eating that right now, right there. However, to make it all really nice and equal, it's wise to go ahead and shift it all back up again once you get it wound up. Just remember the ratio 15 pounds of venison, lean meat, and 10 pounds of pork fat. And you will have perfect deer venison breakfast sausage every time. It takes a lot of fat, folks, to make deer breakfast sausage. A lot of people try to shortchange it when you start making it, and what it's going to cause you to do, even if you put the right seasoning in it, if you don't have enough fat in it, your sausage is going to dry out. It's not going to be good, man. It may have a decent taste to it, but it'll be dry. It won't cook right, and all that kind of stuff. So if you want good breakfast sausage, this is one way of doing it. There may be others, but this is the way we do it, and it turns out right every time. Packed really nice. Just good sausage, what can you say? This is about a lost art nowadays. I've been doing this for a long, long time. And I watched other people growing up making pork sausage. But I had to learn quite a few things to make this venison taste like pork sausage, because obviously venison is not pork. And so it takes some special ingredients to make it taste like pork. But this right here will do it. We're probably not going to mix all of this. I'll mix about half of it through here. I'll go ahead and mix it up in my hand. I will wrap this video up because basically you guys done seen what you need to know for the ingredients, how I do it and all that kind of stuff. I ain't going to bore you to death sitting here mixing the rest of all this up. And kind of stuff. Let me cut this thing off, and at this point, come on up here. At this point, you can see I got about half of it mixed. You can see what it looks like after I've run it back through the grinder. Now, it's done been through that big plate one time before we ever got started, so this is your small plate. This is your second grind. What you want to do with it, let me move this out of the way. What you want to do with it is take it at this point. Once you get it all mixed up, go back in here on it again. And just kind of shuffle it around, mix it together again. And this right here just assures you that everything is mixed together equally, even after you've got it ground. So just kind of mix it back up like that. And once you get to that point, you got yourself some good venison breakfast sausage. So what we'll do at this point is just take it and put it in packs, vacuum seal it the same way we do with the beef burger, and it's the same thing. So anyway, I hope you picked up on a few things on making venison breakfast sausage. Mo Deer Outdoors, we appreciate you if you subscribe to our channel and like videos. And maybe we can share some more tips with you in the future. We'll see you on the next video.